Hello students, welcome back to another edition of my science lesson for PhD students. And remember, you can subscribe for quick access to all the videos that will be posted. And with no further delay, let's go right into today's objectives. So the objectives for today's lesson: 1. What is matter? 2. Changes in the state of matter. 3. Physical and chemical change. And 4. Solution, solute, and solvent. With no further delay, we want to identify matter. What is matter? All matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Two or more atoms combine to form molecules. A molecule is the smallest piece of substance that has the same property as the entire substance. Then there are three states of matter. You have solid, you have liquid, and gas. Then for quick details of three of them, for the solid, atoms are tightly packed and have little space to move. Solids have fixed shape and do not flow. For the liquid state, atoms are more loosely packed and have more space to move. Liquids flow, hence they don't have a fixed shape. Then for gas, the atoms are far from each other and move very freely. Gases do not have a fixed shape. Then there are several properties to identify the difference between solid, liquids, and gases. All matter has properties. Properties tell how matter looks, feels, smells, or tastes. So solids, they're hard, smooth, rough, and big. Liquids, at times sticky, smooth, wet. And gases, clear, light, and transparent. Then for the changes of state of matter, matter can change from one state to another. The process by which a solid changes into a liquid is called melting. The process by which a liquid changes into a vapor is called evaporation. Then the process by which a gas changes into a liquid on cooling is called condensation, and the process by which liquid changes into a solid is called freezing. Then we have changes of state of matter. You have solid. For the solid, if you can see, the molecules held a fixed pattern but vibrating. Then in liquid, the molecules packed close together in a random fashion, free to move. Then for the gas, molecules widely separated move at great speed. So look at the difference. You could see the one that is packed closer together compared to how far they're spreading from each other. And to continue, here's a diagram showing the changes of matter. If you can see, we have a solid here, and from this solid, which is ice, to a liquid, which is water. So we get that by melting. And from this liquid, which is water, to a solid, which is ice, this occurs through the process of freezing. Then you have a solid to a gas. This occurred through what is known as sublimation. Then from a gas to a solid, this occurred through deposition. And further down in the lesson, you will get the term for these different definitions. Then from a gas to a liquid, it occurred through condensation. And from a liquid to a gas, this occurred through evaporation. So this is how the different states of matter changes from one phase to the next. Then here we have what is known as sublimation. Sublimation is a process from a solid to a liquid to a gas. And solid could be either through melting or freezing. Liquid through vaporizing and condensation. And at end of where we get a gas. And it has the reverse sublimation, where from a gas to a liquid through vaporizing and condensation, and from a liquid to a solid through freezing, and vice versa through melting. And to continue the lesson, we want to go into physical and chemical change in matter. When it comes to physical change, it's a changes that could easily return back to its normal state. Now a chemical change, whenever you change something, like for instance rice, once you cook the rice, there's no way you could bring that rice back to the state as it once was. So it says, for physical and chemical change in matter, when matter undergoes change, it always involves energy going into or out of the system. Whether the change is physical or chemical, the total amount of matter always stays the same, even though the materials may appear much different after the change as compared to before. So for physical and chemical changes, for example, chemical, not easily reversed, then new products formed, so reactants used up, then electricity may be produced amongst many other. Example, wood burning. Once you burn a wood, you cannot bring it back. Then physical change, easily reversible. No new products, often just a state change. Example, ice melting and vice versa. The ice turned to water, the water turned to ice based on a different temperature. Then we have the difference between solution, a solute, a solvent, dissolved, a soluble, and an insoluble. So a solution is a mixture formed when a substance dissolved in it. Then a solute is a substance that dissolves. Then the solvent is a liquid in the solution. The dissolve is a mixing of a substance in a liquid. The soluble is a substance which can dissolve, mix in a liquid. Insoluble is a substance which cannot dissolve when mixed in a liquid. What is a solution? A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. A solution is made up of two parts, the solute and the solvent. A solution is a substance being dissolved. A solvent is a substance a solute is being dissolved in. It is often a liquid. Then here's a diagram showing the process of solute plus solvent, which is equal to solution. So to continue, we have solute plus solvent equals solution. So if you can see, the sugar or the sucrose table sugar is a solute. Then for the solvent, you put the little sugar in the water. Then the solute, it becomes the water solvent. So the concentration equals solute and solvent. And to continue, we want to define sublimation and deposition. Remember, we saw that earlier in the lesson. What is sublimation? Sublimation is a phase change where a substance goes from a solid to a gas or vapor without changing to a liquid first. Then when a gas vapor changes directly to a solid without going through the liquid phase, it's called a deposition. Then it causes frost to form on windows. Then let's go to a quick summary of what we have covered. It says the components of mixture can be separated. The elements in a compound cannot be separated easily. A new substance is formed. An atom is the smallest part of an element. All molecules are made up of atoms. The movements of molecules and the attraction between them indicate their state of matter. Compounds are represented by chemical formula. Chemical formula of substances tell a number of elements and the numbers of atoms of each element. Matter is made up of both living and non-living things. Everything on this planet is made up of matter. I want to thank you so much for listening, and I do trust that you learned a lot. Remember, you could always go back, listen, and also view the information to get more details and to get a better understanding of the diagram. Thanks so much for tuning in. Look forward for more coming soon. Remember, you can subscribe for quick access to all the lessons that will be posted.